Well, it's good to see you again. I have a confession to make to you today. When it comes to TV shows or movies about the life of Christ or on biblical subjects, typically my first reaction is, I'm just not a big fan. I don't like the way that they portray Jesus. I don't like the way they portray biblical characters. I don't like the way that they portray their biblical characters' relationship to God very often. It's just me being overly picky, I'm sure. But it's just not something that I go out to see very often. However, about 3 months ago, I ran across something that I thought, here's another one. But as I began to watch, I was amazed and pretty stunned at how great this series is. And I want to recommend it to you today. It's called The Chosen. And it's an 8 episode series that explores Jesus calling his disciples. Now, the Bible doesn't give us a lot of details about each of the disciples. We know their names, but it doesn't give us a lot of details about them. And that's okay, because the story of the gospel is about Jesus, not about them. In this mini-series, what you see is the writers are, without doing violence to scriptures, they're really connecting the disciples' relationships with each other. And it really is an exploration of who these men and women were as followers of Christ. And some of the great scenes in this are as people are struggling to come to terms with Jesus being the Messiah. It begins with the story of Mary Magdalene, which is beautifully played. You find Simon Peter as one of the driving characters throughout all of this, as well as Nicodemus. That it's a phenomenal depiction of how Jesus changes people's lives. And so I want to recommend this to you. Now, it's not on a TV station. In fact, this was a series that was funded in a clever and wonderful way. It was crowdfunded or crowdsourced. And so it's just a magnificent series, and I can't recommend it enough. Now, here's how you find it. You can find each of the episodes available on YouTube, but if you'll go to wherever your phone or your iPad or your devices get apps, go to the App Store or wherever you find those things and look up The Chosen and download the app, because there you're going to get a lot more information about each of the episodes. And I want to recommend that to you as we have a few weeks left. Not much to do as far as getting out, and as we spend the last few weeks of our in quarantine and isolation, I want to encourage you to watch that. I think you'll be encouraged and blessed. Good to see you. Can't wait to see you again.